Hi, my name is Daryl Phillips, and this is Bipolar Perspective, presented to you by Noir Apologia Gaming. Like, subscribe, share, follow, do all that stuff down below. Especially share. Sharing is the most important thing. The message cannot get out without sharing. Share with your family, share with your friends, share with people that you think need to hear it. So today, in link with last week's video, is it's okay to be curious. What a strange subject, right? Well, guess what? It's not, because some people are afraid to be curious. I don't want to ask that question because I might get shot down, right? You know people like that. I've been like that. My niche right now is trying to help people that need help, and that'll be my niche for the rest of my life. And I'm curious about other people and how they've dealt with it, how I can be useful in this situation. I had to get curious about myself. That was a difficult one. What you get curious about can make you, or it can break you. You can get curious about drugs and alcohol and it'll break you. I'm sorry to tell people that do drugs and do alcohol. You may be a functional alcoholic, but you're someone who I know I cannot trust, because I don't know. Because if your end all be all is to, at the end of the night, instead of relaxing in some other way, you have to be drunk or have alcohol in your system. I'm not being rude to you. You're not even probably a bad person, but I cannot be around you because of that. Because I have to be around trustworthy people. And that's just the way I have to deal with my life. And if you have a real problem with it, you're going to know it, because your life is going to be upside down, sideways, and inside out. And just think about what happened to me in December. I let something get to me that I shouldn't have got into, and it could have ruined me, but it didn't. I'm still, technically we're in January, so yeah, I know it's February that you're watching this video, but it's January when this is being recorded, and so I'm still waiting to find out what's going to happen with this whole thing. But I used to be curious about liquor, about cigarette smoking. I still have a bad habit of that. You know, I used to be curious about sex, but curious about all that stuff. And because of my bipolar disorder, as I think on one of the live videos that I recorded, I talked about how the difference between bipolar disorder and normal people, people that have bipolar, is everything is to the extreme. So our curiosity can get way out there, way out there. I mean that. I talked about last week how I jumped a train. That was a dumb curiosity. I could have been killed underneath a train and nobody would have ever known it. My poor family would have found out the hard way. And so curiosity, it can be bad and it can be good. But the kind of curiosity I want you to have is the kind of curiosity about yourself. Be curious about yourself, about what you can do. It's okay to learn about whatever you want to learn about, but there's some things in the world that are just bad and you don't want to learn about them, that you don't want to know. You might want to have knowledge of them, and if you feel like there's something imminent that you need to learn, then learn that, because that's part of, you know, you do have to learn sometimes, and you're not really curious about the subject. But it's really hard to get someone to learn something if they're not even curious about it. First, you got to get the curiosity up. Like for me, one of the problems that I've always had is it has been difficult for me to learn anything that I'm not interested in. So you have to get me curious first. I don't thank the Lord that I'm curious about a lot of different things. And so it isn't as difficult to get me curious, but you have to explain the why before the how. You have to explain why, and you have to get me curious about that subject. There's a lot more people like that than you think, especially the smarter you are, the more curious you may be about other things. But if you're good at something, we have a bad habit of focusing on singularly on one thing and not really worried about multitasking or learning multiple things at the same time or using it at the same time. Now, we may do it naturally because smart people can do some really cool stuff. I can, I'm able to do some pretty multitasking things. In my opinion, if I wasn't curious about this, I would have a hard time learning this. And it is so fascinating, this stuff. Running a business, learning the graphics, doing these videos, making sure I'm projecting when I'm speaking, making sure I'm getting the information correctly to you, making sure that you're understanding the information from me. All of these things I have to be curious about, and I am curious about, which makes me want to get better. Curiosity can make you better. And being curious about yourself is important because if you're not curious about yourself, why would you expect anybody else to be? Curiosity is the like I said, the backbone of everything that you're gonna want to drive, ambition, that kind of thing. That's curiosity is gonna drive that. Okay, it's gonna make you want to. The first time, okay, so let's say you've had a bad past, kind of like I have, and the first time you do something without drugs or alcohol in your system, and you do it well, you realize you didn't need the alcohol. That's gonna spur your curiosity to the point where you're gonna be like, what else can I do? That's curiosity. That's the best kind of curiosity because it's curious about yourself. Because how can you explain it how can you get another person to understand you if you don't understand you? So you have to get curious about yourself so that you get knowledge about yourself. May the Lord of Light guide you in all things. Goodbye.